Identifying the core problem. Root cause analysis, RCA, is the ultimate weapon for identifying chronic problems. To achieve effectiveness and ongoing success, the 6 essential RCA tools are suggested chronologically. 1. Gemba walk. Start with a Gemba walk to observe the actual process and understand where issues occur. This first-hand observation helps identify potential problems. 2. Brainstorming. After gathering initial insights from the Gemba walk, engage stakeholders in brainstorming sessions to generate ideas about the potential causes of the problems observed. 3. Fishbone diagram. Cause and effect diagram. Use this diagram to categorize and visualize the potential causes generated during brainstorming. It helps identify root causes by breaking them down into 4M/6M categories: manpower, material, method, machine, measurement, and Mother Nature, environment, in manufacturing, or 6P categories: policy, people, process, product, place, and promotion, in service. For 5Y analysis, once potential causes are identified using the fishbone diagram, apply the 5 Ys or YY analysis technique to delve deeper into each identified cause. Ask why 5 times or repeatedly until the root cause is identified. 5. Flowchart. Create a flowchart of the process to visualize the steps involved. This tool helps pinpoint breakdowns or inefficiencies in the workflow. 6. Pareto analysis. Use this analysis to prioritize the identified root causes based on their impact. You can address the most significant issues by focusing on the vital few causes, the top 20%. 3. Advanced RCA tools. 1. FMEA, a failure mode and effects analysis. After identifying the fundamental causes, conduct FMEA to evaluate the potential failure modes associated with each cause, assessing their severity, occurrence, and detection. 2. 8D analysis. Apply the 8D method to implement corrective actions and ensure effective and sustainable solutions. This structured approach emphasizes teamwork and problem solving. 3. DMAIC. Define, measure, analyze, improve, control. If the root cause and the solution are unknown, DMAIC is recommended. While DMAIC is associated with Six Sigma projects, it can be integrated at the end of the RCA process to ensure that improvements are effectively implemented, measured, and sustained. This chronological order allows for a systematic approach to problem identification and resolution, ensuring thorough analysis and effective action planning. Setting measurable goals for improvement. In the planning phase of the PDCA cycle, setting measurable goals is crucial for guiding the problem-solving process. With clear targets, assessing progress and determining whether improvements have been achieved becomes easier. To achieve the best results, goals should be clear and realistic, and specific efforts should be made to address the problem, ensuring efforts are channeled effectively. Measurable goals provide a roadmap for improvement, helping teams stay on track and make necessary adjustments. To do this, each goal must be defined with quantifiable metrics. The process begins with understanding the problem, identifying the desired outcomes, and determining how success will be measured. This approach helps clarify what needs to be achieved and establishes a foundation for ongoing improvement. The importance of measurable goals in PDCA. Measurable goals are vital for several reasons. First, they offer clarity. Without clear and measurable goals, it is easy to lose direction during problem solving. Specific targets allow teams to break down complex problems into manageable actions, making it easier to track progress. Second, measurable goals enable accountability. When goals are well-defined, assessing whether they have been met becomes more accessible, making it possible to hold individuals and teams accountable for their performance. Lastly, measurable goals ensure continuous improvement. By tracking and measuring progress, teams can identify what works and what doesn't, leading to adjustments that foster long-term success. 3 goal-setting tools. 1. SMART goals. SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, are used for setting clear and actionable objectives. This method ensures that goals are defined in a way that makes it easier to evaluate success. Each aspect of SMART goals helps refine the focus and clarity of the target. For instance, a vague goal like improve customer satisfaction can be turned into a SMART goal by specifying increase customer satisfaction by 15% within the next 6 months, based on quarterly survey results. 2. OKRs, Objectives and Key Results. Objectives and Key Results, OKRs, are another popular tool for setting measurable goals. This approach defines broad objectives and breaks them into specific, measurable key results. The objective provides direction, while the key results ensure that progress toward the objective is quantifiable. For example, an objective might be to improve product quality, and the key results could include reducing defect rates by 50% in the next quarter or increasing customer retention by 25%. 3. Balanced Scorecard. The balanced scorecard is a strategic tool for setting goals across an organization's different areas. It helps create a balanced view of success by setting goals not only in terms of financial performance but also from the customer, internal process, and learning perspectives. This tool ensures improvements are targeted across multiple organizational dimensions, leading to comprehensive growth. A tool to measure progress, Key Performance Indicators, KPIs. Key Performance Indicators, KPIs, are critical for measuring progress toward goals. KPIs provide specific metrics that allow teams to assess how well they perform about their goals. By regularly monitoring KPIs, teams can determine if their strategies are working and whether they are on track to achieve the desired outcomes. For example, if the goal is to reduce customer complaints, the KPI might be the number of complaints received monthly. If the goal is to increase production efficiency, the KPI could be units produced per hour. Developing actionable steps. In the PDCA cycle, after identifying and prioritizing problems and setting measurable goals, the next critical step in the planning phase is developing actionable steps. Solutions must be broken down into manageable tasks that are clear, achievable, and practical for effective implementation. This organizes the problem-solving process, and teams are better positioned to implement improvements successfully. Developing actionable steps ensures that the solution does not remain abstract or theoretical. Instead, it is transformed into specific actions that can be executed precisely. This approach makes tracking progress easier, adjusting plans when necessary, and achieving the desired results. Why actionable steps are important. Actionable steps serve as the bridge between the planning and execution stages of the PDCA cycle. Without precise tasks, even the most well-planned solutions can falter during implementation. When significant problems are broken down into smaller, manageable tasks, it becomes easier for team members to understand what needs to be done and how to do it. Potential obstacles can also be identified early by breaking solutions into specific tasks. For example, planning for this in advance can prevent delays if one task depends on completing another. This systematic approach ensures that the project remains on schedule and resources are used efficiently. Steps to create actionable tasks. 1. Clarify the solution. The first step in developing actionable tasks is ensuring the solution is clearly understood. If the solution to a problem is ambiguous, it won't be easy to translate it into specific actions. Therefore, it is essential to define the solution in precise terms. For example, if the goal is to improve customer satisfaction, the solution might involve streamlining the customer service process, reducing response times, or improving communication channels. Once the solution is clarified, breaking it down into smaller steps becomes more accessible. 2. Break down the solution into smaller tasks. After clarifying the solution, it should be broken down into smaller, actionable tasks. Each task should represent a specific action that contributes to implementing the solution. For instance, if the solution involves streamlining a process, one task could be conducting a process review, while another could be training employees on new procedures. By breaking the solution into smaller tasks, the project becomes more manageable, and each step can be monitored and evaluated individually. 3. Prioritize and sequence tasks. Once the tasks have been identified, they should be prioritized and sequenced logically. Some tasks may need to be completed before others can begin, while some may have a more significant impact on the overall success of the solution. Determining the order in which tasks should be completed makes the implementation process smoother, reducing the chances of delays or inefficiencies. 4. Assign responsibilities. For actionable steps to be practical, responsibilities must be assigned to specific individuals or teams. Each task should have a clear owner who is accountable for its completion. This creates a sense of responsibility and ensures that no task is overlooked. Assigning clear roles helps distribute the workload evenly so that no individual or team is overburdened. 5. Set deadlines and milestones. Each task should be accompanied by a deadline. Setting deadlines ensures that the project progresses promptly and tasks are completed within a reasonable time limit. Besides deadlines, setting milestones can help track progress at various stages of the project. Milestones act as checkpoints that provide an opportunity to review progress, make adjustments if needed, and keep the team focused on achieving the overall goal. Monitoring and adjusting actionable steps. Even after actionable steps are developed and implemented, continuous monitoring is necessary to ensure that progress is being made as planned. If tasks are not yielding the expected results, adjustments may be required. Sometimes, tasks must be redefined, reordered, or assigned to different individuals. Flexibility is essential in this process, allowing the team to adapt to unforeseen challenges while staying focused on the end goal. Allocating resources and responsibilities. Ensuring teams, tools, and timelines are aligned for smooth execution. Allocating resources and responsibilities is an essential step in the planning phase of the PDCA cycle to ensure that the problem-solving process is conducted efficiently. The success of any plan depends on the clarity of the objectives and the effective allocation of resources, tools, and personnel. With proper alignment, even the most well-designed solutions can succeed during execution. Defining resources and responsibilities. Resources in this context refer to the necessary tools, equipment, and materials required to implement a solution, while responsibilities refer to assigning tasks to individuals or teams. Both aspects must clarify who handles specific actions and what resources will be available to complete the tasks. When resources and responsibilities are allocated effectively, the team is better equipped to conduct tasks on time and without unnecessary delays. Aligning resources and responsibilities with the overall objectives makes the problem-solving process more structured, reducing the likelihood of miscommunication and inefficiencies. Steps in allocating resources and responsibilities. 1. Assessing resource requirements. The first step in allocating resources is to assess what will be needed for successful execution. This includes identifying the tools, equipment, and materials required for each task. For example, if a solution involves upgrading software, the licenses, training materials, and hardware compatibility must be considered. It is essential to ensure that these resources are available and accessible to the team before implementation begins. Any resource gaps should be identified early so alternative solutions can be found. 2. Assigning clear responsibilities. After determining the resources, specific individuals or teams must be assigned responsibilities. Each task should have a designated owner who is accountable for its completion. Clear roles help prevent confusion and ensure that every team member understands what is expected of them. The person or team responsible for a task must have the required skills and experience to carry it out effectively. If additional training or support is needed, it should be provided before the task begins. 3. Creating a timeline. A realistic timeline should be established for each task. Setting deadlines ensures tasks are completed promptly and that progress can be tracked throughout the execution phase. Timelines should consider the complexity of the tasks, resource availability, and any potential obstacles that may arise. Milestones can be incorporated into the timeline to provide checkpoints for reviewing progress and making necessary adjustments. For balancing resources and workload, it is essential to ensure that resources are dispersed across the team and that no one is overwhelmed by too many tasks. A balanced workload helps maintain team morale and productivity. Teams should be given sufficient time and resources to complete their assigned tasks without compromising quality. The process can be kept on track by reviewing and allocating resources and adjusting as needed. 5. Communicating the plan. Once resources and responsibilities have been allocated, it is crucial to communicate the plan clearly to all team members. Everyone involved should fully understand their role, the resources available, and the completion timeline. Regular communication is critical to maintaining alignment throughout the process. Any changes to the plan, such as resource adjustments or deadline shifts, should be communicated promptly to ensure everything is clear. Monitoring and adjusting during execution. During the execution phase, continuous monitoring is essential to ensure that resources are used effectively and responsibilities are fulfilled. Regular check-ins and progress reports allow the team to identify any issues early and make adjustments as necessary. If there are resource shortages, delays, or misalignments, the plan should be revisited and modified to address these challenges. Flexibility is key to ensuring that the project stays on course and that improvements are implemented successfully. Risk assessment and contingency planning. G. Identifying potential obstacles and preparing backup plans for successful outcomes during the planning phase of the PDCA cycle. Risk assessment and contingency planning are crucial elements that significantly impact the effectiveness of problem-solving endeavors. Identifying potential risks early on and creating backup plans allows smoother execution and minimizes the impact of unforeseen challenges. By addressing obstacles in advance, teams can stay on track and ensure that goals are achieved even when issues arise. Importance of risk assessment. Risk assessment involves identifying potential obstacles, uncertainties, and threats that could affect the outcome of a plan. This process ensures vulnerabilities are recognized and addressed before becoming a key issue. Risks can range from resource shortages and technical failures to external factors, such as market changes or regulatory requirements. Understanding how these factors could impact the project is essential regardless of the risk. By conducting a thorough risk assessment, teams are better prepared to manage uncertainties and can plan for various scenarios. This step reduces the likelihood of unexpected delays or disruptions and increases the chances of a successful outcome. Steps for risk assessment. 1. Identifying risks. The first step in risk assessment is identifying potential risks that may impact the project. These risks can be internal, such as resource constraints or team conflicts, or external, such as regulation changes or supply chain disruptions. It is essential to involve all stakeholders in considering every risk. A comprehensive list of risks should be developed, focusing on areas that could directly affect the plan's success. 2. Assessing the impact of risks. After identifying risks, each should be evaluated based on its potential impact and likelihood. This evaluation helps prioritize risks and determines which ones require the most attention. High-impact risks should be given priority, and plans should be made to address these first. Medium and low-impact risks should also be considered, but their likelihood and severity may require less immediate attention. 3. Developing a risk management plan. Once risks have been assessed, a risk management plan should outline how each risk will be addressed if it arises. This plan should include specific actions to mitigate the risks and minimize their impact. For example, if a key resource becomes unavailable, a backup supplier or alternative method should be included in the plan to ensure that progress is completed on time. A plan for each risk reduces uncertainty and allows the team to respond more effectively if challenges occur. Summary of Chapter 2: Planning for Problem Solving. Planning is the cornerstone of successful PDCA implementation. This chapter details prizing clear, measurable goal setting to guide problem-solving efforts. Specific goal-setting tools, such as SMART objectives, are explained to help create effective plans. This phase also involves identifying resources and responsibilities, developing actionable steps, and assessing risks to prepare for potential obstacles. Planning is a systematic process that lays the foundation for effective execution and reliable outcomes.